you speak earlier in the week about how happy you were with the way the boys came back from not their break anyway.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a catch-up from this time last year. We had a good 7 weeks before Christmas to train, so the boys started on the 1st of December. So it was how could we get back to that position? So we're similar like last year, and to their credit, they've done a lot of work, and I reckon we're on par where we were last year, if not a little bit in front.
So just to explain, so playing in the grand final, obviously their break was much less than in normal years.
No, the break was a bit more.
So.
That's what happens when you play finals and you go deep into September. You start training later, so getting in that cycle is really good. But the transition to get into that cycle is you miss a bit of training in the off season. So times have changed a little bit. They've come back pretty fit.
So they've done a fair bit of extra themselves during the break, that sort of thing. They were conscious of that.
Well, with the new laws and rules in place with time away from the club, expectations for the players now are a little bit higher than what they used to be, and that's the way the game's going. So they've got some personal pride on how they look and feel. So happy how they've returned.
And injury-wise, pretty good. It looks like a pretty big squad out there.
Yeah, well, this time last year I think we had 29 on the track. So I think we've got 40 today. Mind you, we got up to around 40 by the end of Jan last year, and then we lost a lot of players. So things can change pretty quick, but at the moment we're healthy.
Jack Redden, was there an issue with a hernia?
Yeah, look, he missed the last part of the year at Brisbane with the same injury, so it's more about recovering from that. So I think we're over the hump. So hopefully he'll be available for NAB Cup.
Did he need a little clean-up surgery?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you're pretty confident you've got it right this time.
I think so. Yeah.
And Eric and Brownie, they're both back into contact work, aren't they?
Yeah, they've done everything. Yeah, so they're ready to go. Doing their knee so early last year means that they're going to be available for NAB 1.
How about Dom? Obviously had that minor knee, and also Scully coming back from ankle. Where are they at? And they're going to be in the side of it?
Scully's in full training as of Monday next week. I think he'll train a bit today, so he's going to be available. And Dom's he's recovering from a little clean up on his knee from pre-Christmas, so he'll be probably on the same schedule as Jack.
How's Liam David going after missing the back end of last year with that knee problem?
Yeah, really cautious with Jack, with Duggo in the last half of the year. So he's in full training as well, and expect a full look at pre-season.
He was very impressive in his first year. Expecting him to step up again.
I'm not going to put too much pressure on him. I think he's got a heap of talent. He played some games last year along with Jacko Nelson. So our expectations that they'll improve again, but that doesn't always happen.
How about Jeremy McGovern? Obviously, he had a great year last year, but I think you had a bit of an ongoing thing with him, not chipping his body, but just saying you needed to maybe add a little bit more tone to him. He looks a little bit sort of bigger and a little bit stronger there. Do you sort of expect him to go a little bit better as well on the field this year?
Yeah, I reckon that was the first year. We put a bit of pressure on that. Last year was played a lot of footy, had a good season, and I think he'll just evolve to bigger and better things this year. Yeah, expectations are pretty high on Gov.
So with Eric and Brownie being back, does that release him to become a forward almost?
Yeah, we've got to think about that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that's going to look. I think with guys coming back from knees, you've got to be pretty patient. So we'll start Gov down back with our training, but we've got to see what he can do up forward and in the ruck as well. So he'll be pretty flexible for us, I would have thought.
What about the first year guys? Timo, how are they sort of blending into the group so far?
Often you get first year players who are injured, and you need to clean them up from the junior football. But all of our guys are training, so it's a bit early to tell what they're going to give, but I'm really pleased that they're on the track and they're actually learning on field.
Just another one, a young gun from last year, Damien Kafka. What's the go with him about that?
Yeah, look, that's ongoing. Yeah, that's going to be a longer term issue for Cav, so we've got to wait and see how he pulls up from his recent operation, and that's going to be a longer term.
It sort of seems he's going to be extended period on the sideline.
Yeah, it's a tough run. Yep.
And those interchange changes for this season, did you have to tweak your planning much, or have you done much different to sort of compensate for that?
It's probably the time now to start looking at that. The way we rotate, we don't rotate highly anyway, so managing that I think will be okay, but an extra player on the bench is going to give us something a little bit different, so the quicker we can plan and prepare for that and then train it, the better we'll be. But a NAB Cup will be a good chance to train that as well.